Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women.
The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man that you see just for someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left the state in their lives. People who do not have the courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise, day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to, someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal-oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams become a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We're beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, ear size, breast size, saying nothing will come of our lives.
Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet. just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage. use in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin. In this segment, we're going to discuss two topics. One, the women at risk for domestic violence, and self-esteem, because the two are related. Who is at risk for domestic violence? If you think someone you know is in trouble, watch and listen closely. Someone who is being battered might show signs of physical injury. They may be afraid of their partner's temper. They may avoid friends and seldom be seen with the partner in public. They will have low self-esteem. They will let the partner make all the decisions. They will apologize a lot for the partner's behavior. They also may drink heavily or use other drugs. Now, the batterer's characteristics can be, he can actively be jealous, have a very bad temper, show no respect for the partner, be nice 1 minute and nasty the next, yell at or threaten the partner in public, criticize or embarrass the partner in public or in front of others, control all the money, throw things or get physical when angry, mistreat or abuse pets, drink heavily or use other drugs. Now, if you're not sure the abuse is taking place, even when you know what it looks like, it can still be hard to know for sure that someone is in a violent relationship. That person might deny the problem, and you could be mistaken, but be concerned if you stop hearing from this person, or if the person tries to keep you away. Try to keep in touch. Call or check in often. You do not want these people to think that they are alone. Now, if you want to try and help, helping is going to be hard. Offering support and listening to this person can be painful. Trying to help might even be dangerous for you or for the person who's being battered. Here are some ways to help. Don't judge the person if she doesn't leave. Offer support when you can and try to listen. Don't give up. It may take time for the person to be ready to make a change. Help the person get professional help. This could be from a woman's shelter, a therapist, a counselor, a doctor, lawyer, police, or clergy. Help the person find resources to help with child care, medical and legal issues. Call local hotlines for information and phone numbers of agencies. If alcohol or other drugs seem to be the problem, say so. Suggest the person think about getting help. Don't try to solve the problem by yourself. Ask a local crisis center for information, support, and ideas. This is very important. You need the help of a professional to help you guide yourself through this labyrinth. Now, when the violence happens, anyone in a violent relationship needs a plan for when things get out of control. The plan should include a safe, secret place to go. This could be a friend or a relative's house or a woman's shelter. A bag packed with clothing, money, and important papers, kept in a safe place or with friends. A list of important phone numbers to police, shelters, counselors, therapists, friends, or relatives. A way to call 911 or the police without the batterer knowing. A contact at a local crisis center who can advise on all of these options. Sometimes a relationship between two people can turn ugly. When someone gets hit, slapped, or hurt in any way, it is called domestic violence or battering. Women sometimes batter their partners, but it is mostly men who get violent and women who get hit. Violence isn't just physical. Someone is always getting hurt emotionally. Alcohol and other drugs often make the fighting worse. Couples in a violent relationship may care about each other a lot. The man may feel bad after a fight and try to make up for acting lovingly until the next blow up. The violence can turn into a never-ending roller coaster of misery. It can be hard to tell if someone is in a violent relationship. Couples try to hide the problem. The woman may be tired or ashamed to talk about it. But if you know what to look for, there are usually clues. If you know the signs, you might be able to help someone escape the domestic violence nightmare. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now,
you need to live life with a purpose. You need to spend the time needed to explore, to find your true passion. There are so many unhappy people in this world not willing to make a change. There are so many unhappy people not focusing on the big picture. 1 out of 3 people are happy with their lives. Think about that for a second. 70% of the people you see every day are not happy. And the majority of that has to do with purpose. People are programmed, wired to be okay with the minimum. People stay in jobs they're not passionate about. They date people who don't support them, hang out with people who don't help them grow. This can't be you. You need to spend the time to discover what your true calling is. What are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing to make your mark? Are you in a job right now that you're truly happy with? Do you wake up every morning excited to start your day? If not, that's okay. You know now this isn't fulfilling you. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you willing to make a change to help reach your goals? If you are, it needs to start now. because this won't happen overnight, finding your true calling. But once you do, you will see how everything changes. You will begin to see the quality of your life increase. All those problems you had, they slowly fade. You begin to see how powerful life is with a purpose. Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
In the United States, intimate partner violence happens to 1 in 4 women and can be associated with emotional, social, physical, and mental health. Violence in women has been linked to chronic health, emotional, and social complications, one of which includes low self-esteem. Low self-esteem can cause women to doubt themselves, which can promote maintaining a relationship with the abuser. High self-esteem may prevent a woman from experiencing long-term depressive effects of abuse, which is identified as a lasting issue that often results from partner violence. So, rehabilitation for women with low self-esteem is much more difficult than for women with high self-esteem. Also, women have been historically socialized to depend upon relationships as a source of self-esteem. This is where violence plays a role in depleting self-esteem and therefore leaving the women feeling incapable and without resources. It is possible that once a woman's self-esteem lowers to a certain level, she will not feel able or confident enough to leave her abuser. Again, I will repeat, it is possible that once a woman's self-esteem lowers to a certain level, she will not feel able or confident enough to leave her abuser. To break the cycle of violence, confidence is needed to be strengthened, and women need to feel able to function independently. See, the batterer is counting on the woman feeling that she can't help herself, that she needs the batterer to maintain a certain lifestyle and even to survive. Now, employment can be used to help define a woman's sense of self and therefore improve self-esteem related to abuse. A relationship was found between the quality of a woman's work and her sense of self in the workplace and at home. This implies that having employment could be used as a resource for women to renew their esteem and decrease the sense of helplessness to achieve an independent and well-functioning lifestyle away from the abuser. Being employed was positively associated with a woman's decision to leave her abuser. Having a financial support system is important in creating a sense of ability. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now,
Attention women, have you ever asked yourself why society views you as a lesser being to a man? Or why most leadership positions are filled by men? I urge you to visit touchedbythelight.us and get your copy of this amazing, inspiring new book called Women of Courage Part 2. It's carefully written with a passion for all women. It's the time for all mothers, sisters, and daughters to come together as one. Unite together and understand your life and make a change today. Visit touchedbythelight.us and order the book Women of Courage Part 2 and feel the love and dedication it has to offer. Get your copy today.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Renee stepping out on faith. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. No one can discuss domestic violence without discussing self-esteem. Self-esteem and domestic violence go hand in hand. Low self-esteem can be brought on by a variety of factors and can be a serious issue for women who are victims of domestic violence. Contrary to what many believe, domestic violence is not just about physical violence. It can also include sexual violence, emotional violence, financial abuse, and stalking. Basically, domestic violence offenders always feel the need to be in control of their victims. The less in control an offender feels, the more they want to hurt others. Low self-esteem in domestic violence situations can cause them to stay in an abusive relationship. This can lead to serious injuries and even death. Self-esteem alone cannot combat domestic violence. A woman with high self-esteem can be affected by domestic violence, but the woman with better self-image will be more empowered to leave a relationship where there is abuse, and that is the important thing to focus on. Women with low self-esteem feel that they cannot do better than the situation in which they are in, which makes them feel far less likely to leave than a woman who has high self-esteem and can stand up for herself. Domestic violence offenders tend to prey on women who have low self-esteem, realizing that the victim will want and need them no matter what they do. Because of the connection between self-esteem and domestic violence, it is vastly important to teach children about self-esteem. We must realize that the experiences of childhood help to form our beliefs about ourselves. Because we form beliefs about ourselves as it relates to others during maturation, it is essential that children are introduced to the concept of self-esteem at an early age. In order to help prevent domestic violence in future generations, children need to understand what they are feeling is healthy and learn positive ways to feel better about themselves. The bottom line, most often in domestic violence cases, the woman is afraid of going out of her home, finding a job, managing herself, her money, purchasing a house, buying a car. It is the lack of self-esteem is also the issue. Then the situation is compounded by the fear of the woman not believing she can make it on her own without the batterer. The essential problem with domestic violence lies in the woman's belief system. The batterer knows this. You must remember, he took time and care to select his victim. When he selected his wife, he was not looking for an equal. He was not looking for a self-willed woman. He was looking for a victim. This is why older men try to seek out 15 and 16-year-old girls to marry, so they can control them from puberty. Batterers are looking for women that they can use and that will tolerate their abuse. So the batterer knows his wife or girlfriend's weaknesses or problems, so he can use this knowledge to his advantage. If the batterer feels that his partner is becoming more empowered to leave him, he will turn on the charm to convince the batterer that he actually does love her. Then he will slowly take something away from her to control and dominate her. The batterer's favorite ploy is to take the woman's right to her money or her privacy away from her. He will take her phone, or he will constantly be monitoring her phone usage. The batterer will also always tell the woman she's nothing without him. He is the best thing in her life. The batterer will tell the victim that she's nothing compared to him. These protestations will cause the victim to feel vulnerable and more afraid. Remember, the batterer is always looking for a way to control his victim. Just like sex offenders prowl the night looking for victims and set up scenarios to rape and murder, so do batterers. Batterers are always looking for ways to control and manipulate. This is why if the victim works, the batterer will always insist on coming on the victim's job, looking to accuse her of having a romantic relationship with a coworker. Remember, the attack is always directed to force the woman to stay so the batterer can continue to enjoy his reign of terror and control. Always remember, the batterer went to a great deal of trouble selecting his victim. He is always ready to conduct a reign of terror in his mind. He is going to spend a great deal of time perfecting his craft. We have to stop thinking that domestic violence is something that just happens over a period of time because someone gets weary from work. That's stupid. This does not. Domestic violence is a planned course of terror. I'll say it again. Domestic violence is a planned, PLANNED, course of terror against women. And men enjoy inflicting terror in women. Become a sponsor of the Women of Courage show by inviting 10 women for a pleasant afternoon to listen to us speak at your venue. Help us change our community to one of peace and harmony. The Women of Courage show is supported by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help women problem solve and to help women realize their dreams. Women should believe that anything is possible. Our sole purpose is the restoration of injured women, both physically and mentally. We meet twice a month on Saturday at a local restaurant to discuss subjects germane to women. We see 5 main problems of black women that we must solve ourselves. One is the sexual abuse of children, bringing unrelated males into the home and fail to notice changes in behavior. Rape and murder of black women, failure to learn the warning signs, breast cancer, which is a failure to be examined, sex trafficking of black women, accepting prostitution as a way of life, economic trials of black women due to the inability to read or lack of education. Learn how to sponsor the Women of Courage show by speaking to our spokesperson, Renee of WHPR. She can be reached at renee88.1fm@gmail.com. I repeat, renee88.1fm@gmail.com. She will tell you all about it, or you can leave a message at the number 734-686-1444. Thank you. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Renee stepping out on faith. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Please pay close attention to this information because thousands and thousands and thousands of people suffer because of low self-esteem. It is keeping them from winning, it's keeping them from being happy, and it's also keeping them from dealing with bullies in their lives. When you have low self-esteem or negative self-esteem, you put little value on your opinion or on your ideas. You focus on your weaknesses, what you perceive as weaknesses, and your faults, and you give little credit to your skills and assets. You believe that others are more capable or successful than you. You probably have difficulty in accepting positive feedback. You might fear failure, which can hold you back from exceeding at work or at school. When you have healthy self-esteem, this means you have a balanced view of yourself. For instance, you have a good opinion of your abilities. You recognize your flaws, but you also recognize what you're good at doing. When self-esteem is healthy and grounded in reality, it's hard to have too much of it. Boasting and feeling superior to others around you is not a sign of too much self-esteem. It is more likely that you feel insecure and you have low self. You boast because you do not want people to recognize what you think are flaws in your personality. When you value yourself and have good self-esteem, you feel secure and worthwhile. You have positive relationships with others, and you feel confident about your abilities. You are also open to learning and open to feedback, which can help you acquire and master new skills. When you have healthy self-esteem, you are assertive in expressing your needs and opinions. You're confident in your ability to make decisions. You are able to form secure and honest relationships and are less likely to stay in unhealthy relationships. You're realistic in your expectation and you are less likely to be overcritical of yourself or others. You are more resilient and are better able to weather stress and setbacks. Self-esteem affects virtually every facet of your life. Maintaining a healthy, realistic view of yourself is not about blowing your own horn. It's about learning to like and respecting yourself, your flaws, and all. Please pay close attention to the next information. Low self-esteem is a negative evaluation of oneself. This type of evaluation usually comes or occurs when some circumstance we encountered in our life touched on our sensitivities. We personalized the incident and experienced physical, emotional, and cognitive arousal. This is so alarming and confusing that we responded by acting in a self-defeating and self-destructive manner. When that happens, our actions tend to be automatic and impulse-driven. We feel upset, emotionally blocked, our thinking narrows, our self-care deteriorates, we lose our sense of self, We focus on being in control and become self-absorbed. Raising your self-esteem is possible, but it requires that we grow as we face our fears and learn from our experiences. Some of this type of work will require you to see a psychotherapist. Do not reject the idea of a psychotherapist. Some of the things that you can do on your own is one is try to stop self-destructive behavior. One of the things is try to get rid of your addictions. Try to replace them with self-care. Practice self-care by joining self-help groups and practicing positive health care. Try to identify triggers that cause the feelings inside of yourself. Start paying attention to yourself. Watch how you respond to your thoughts. Acknowledge when you talk to yourself negatively. Give yourself a choice on how you want to respond. You have the right to identify what you like and what you truly do not like. You have the right to reject what you do not like and what you truly do not need for yourself. Do not have to be detached. You can confront the things in life that you do not like. If you do not like your job, then go back to school and change your situation. Be more assertive. Voice what you see, what you feel, and what you want to make occur. Start using statements beginning with the word I. By expressing your thoughts and feelings and desires in a direct and honest manner, you can show other people that you are changing your life. And finally, last but not least, remove the words if, can't, shouldn't, wouldn't, maybe, I might from your vocabulary. To summarize, for a person to be at risk of brainwashing, it is necessary that at least one of the following characteristics are met. The victim has low self-esteem. The victim has been physically or sexually abused. The victim struggles with drug and alcohol dependency. The victim lives in poverty. The victim has little or no legal protection. Once the trafficker detects one or several of these vulnerabilities in his objective, he or she will seize any available opportunity to seek out the potential victim, including in-person tactics at malls, bus stops, walking to and from school, and outside of group homes. Keep in mind this information as we continue to discuss those men and women arrested and convicted of sex trafficking. This insidious behavior must be stopped. We must all participate in the prevention of sex trafficking. This activity is destroying our nation. Remember, in an earlier broadcast, we discussed the word repetition. At that time, I told you that repetition was extremely important in learning. In other words, the more you recited things to yourself, the better off you would be in terms of learning that information that you wanted to learn. But what I did not tell you is that it has the opposite effect if you are giving yourself information that is negative. Then repetition works against you. Now, repetition is the secret to successful learning. The word repetition means to repeat. So this means every time you repeat something to yourself that is negative, you are learning. You are learning negativity. Repetition is a secret to successful learning. The word repetition means to repeat, which means that every time you repeat something negative to yourself, you are learning. You are learning something negative. The word repetition is a noun. It means the action of repeating something that has already been said or written. Also, the recurrence of an action or event, a thing repeated. a piece that was set by a teacher for you to learn by heart and to recite. As you can see, repetition is a great device to use with respect to learning. Say a single cycle of lifting and lowering a weight is called strength training and is also called a repetition. The military uses repetition to improve training and learning. You learn by repeating a word, a phrase, or a sentence. The repetition or restatement of an idea at intervals not only promotes clarity, but it encourages acceptance of an idea. Listen to me say this again. The repetition of an idea at intervals not only promotes clarity, but it encourages the acceptance of an idea. So telling yourself you are stupid over and over again reinforces your belief in this statement. When you repeat and emphasize one idea, competing ideas are subordinated and sometimes driven out completely of your mind. So by talking to yourself negatively, you are driving out all the positive thoughts of your mind. Does this make any sense to you? Do you see that you're acting counterproductive to yourself when you talk to yourself negatively? Repetition is a powerful force in learning. Notice how children are able to recite characters from a story that you have read to them over and over again. They can recite these words with great clarity. When words are repeated at short and long lags, and people are required to recall them, the probability of recall increases as the distance between the repetition increases. The most ancient and effective learning tool ever devised by man is the powerful principle of repetition. So if you're going to induce yourself to learn, then feed your mind positive information. Intentional repetition is a powerful tool. It can be used to make your point. Repetition works. Human beings somehow need to see, hear, and do things again and again in order to acquire any kind of growth or self-improvement. Repetition is essential when it involves memorizing our multiplication table, learning to drive a car, or developing a six-pack of abs. So what are you going to do with this information I just gave you? We are going to repeat these ideas to give you a second and third chance to consider what we are saying. If you're going to induce yourself to learn, then feed your mind positive information. You must begin paying attention to the conversations that you are constantly having with yourself and others. Regurgitating the same phrases over and over again in your life causes you to live the same old life. Getting up in the morning, telling yourself it's going to rain, it will be one horrible day. Why would you do this to yourself? Why forecast gloom and doom into your life? You woke up. Why not be glad that you just woke up? How do you know it's going to be a horrible day? What special talents do you have to forecast your future? You're setting yourself up to be miserable just because it's raining. You are letting a natural occurrence control your behavior and your thought life. You can be offered a job on a rainy day. You can meet an old friend on a rainy day. You can have a wonderful lunch sitting by the ocean on a rainy day. Why close off your life with negative thinking? You can stop this type of behavior by realizing you are in control of what you think. And it is positive thinking that will change your life for the better. The world will send you downhill. The world will depress you. And the world will make you believe that your situation is hopeless. To fight all of the depressing things you are told every day, you must plant the words in your heart and prophesize health and wealth to yourself. You become overwhelmed with negative people in your life, leave them and do not allow them to return to your life. Stop calling them and stop answering their phone calls. Soon what you say will become what you will believe, and you will see the results of that belief in your life. You will hear yourself, I can do this. This is not such a big problem. I can go back to school and I can get a better job. What benefit do you derive from always telling yourself failure is right around the corner? What does it benefit you by telling yourself you cannot return to school, that you cannot apply for a better job? How does this benefit you by telling yourself you will never get married, that no woman will want to be your wife? Negativity benefits no one. You need to read You Are the Prophet of Your Life and turn your life around.
Do you know who the most dangerous animal on this planet is? No, it is not the rhinoceros, the alligator, or the gorilla. And no, it is not the lion in the jungle or the crocodile. The most dangerous animal on this planet is man. Do you want to know why man is the most dangerous animal on this planet? Man is the most dangerous animal on this planet because he kills for pleasure. He does not kill to eat, he kills out of greed. He kills out of aberrant desires, and he kills out of self-interest. What makes him the most dangerous animal on this planet is he is good at killing. Man not only kills the physical body, he kills the spirit. He is the most efficient killer around. He designs and builds traps to kill. He is constantly looking for victims. Think about the woman at work who's always gossiping. She is constantly plotting how she can make people miserable. Think about the mother-in-law who destroys her son's marriage because she was jealous. The Devil's Cauldron, we explore how man, when left alone with the devil, becomes a monster. We explore how the emotions of fornication, selfishness, envy, jealousy, greed, suspicion, distrust, gluttony, self-indulgence, and greediness, materialism, deceitfulness, and faithlessness ferment into murder. Reading The Devil's Cauldron will tell you this information is of interest to you because you may be murder's next victim. Order The Devil's Cauldron today.
Attention women, have you ever asked yourself why society views you as a lesser being to a man? Or why most leadership positions are filled by men? I urge you to visit touchedbythelight.us and get your copy of this amazing, inspiring new book called Women of Courage Part 2. It's carefully written with a passion for all women. It's the time for all mothers, sisters, and daughters to come together as one. Unite together and understand your life and make a change today. Visit touchedbythelight.us and order the book Women of Courage Part 2 and feel the love and dedication it has to offer. Get your copy today.
You need to live life with a purpose. You need to spend the time needed to explore, to find your true passion. There are so many unhappy people in this world not willing to make a change. There are so many unhappy people not focusing on the big picture. 1 out of 3 people are happy with their lives. Think about that for a second. 70% of the people you see every day are not happy. And the majority of that has to do with purpose. People are programmed, wired to be okay with the minimum. People stay in jobs they're not passionate about. They date people who don't support them, hang out with people who don't help them grow. This can't be you. You need to spend the time to discover what your true calling is. What are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing to make your mark? Are you in a job right now that you're truly happy with? Do you wake up every morning excited to start your day? If not, that's okay. You know now this isn't fulfilling you. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you willing to make a change to help reach your goals? If you are, it needs to start now. Because this won't happen overnight, finding your true calling. But once you do, you will see how everything changes. You will begin to see the quality of your life increase. All those problems you had, they slowly fade. You begin to see how powerful life is with a purpose.
You have 3 choices. You can sit on your couch and do nothing. You can participate sometime hardly doing anything. Or you can step into the future that you designed. The decision is yours. What are you waiting for? You either stand up for yourself with the chance of winning or failing, or grow old, mean, bitter, and hateful, driving your children to run from home or move to another state because of your archaic ideas. Time is running out. What are you going to do?
Watch and listen to the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. to learn how you can turn your life around. You will be happy that you did. Download the WHPR TV Live. God bless. And remember, believe in yourself and stand up. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.